Moving on to our next story, police have clashed with protesters in Germany as far-right supporters and counter-demonstrators held rival rallies in the eastern city of Kemnits. Fireworks and projectiles were thrown from both camps, resulting in some injuries. Civilians were also attacked and harassed after the rallies turned chaotic. Several protesters were arrested by the police. It was the second night of protests over the fatal stabbing of a German man. A Syrian and an Iraqi suspect have been arrested in connection with the killing. The two are held in detention on charges of manslaughter. Police said that the stabbing occurred following a fight at a city festival. Now, to shed more light on that situation, we're joined by Mr. Blaine Coleman, human rights activist, joining us live from Detroit. Thank you very much, Mr. Coleman. Can you tell us exactly what is happening there and how serious are these allegations against these two, obviously, immigrants from Syria and Iraq? And basically, how can this redirect the situation of refugees and the debate over accepting refugees in Europe?
Well, I think you're right to focus on the situation of refugees. Those two men are accused of killing one man. Trump and Obama and both Bushes, between them, have killed millions of Arabs, and between them have generated millions of Arab refugees and other refugees. And I would look at the real criminals here, the real racist monsters here who have created these wars and these waves of refugees and who have whipped up this massive racism against Arabs in the United States, in Germany, throughout Europe. I would look at those guys first. And I believe these Western leaders, US and European leaders, have created this racist monster that you now see in these crowds in Kemnits. That's my opinion.
So eventually, do you think that this is going to put more pressure on refugees that are currently now in Europe, but particularly in Germany?
Well, of course, because the so-called left is not standing up for its so-called values. It's not standing up for the rights of every human being, every refugee to live. First of all, they should be standing against the massacre of Arabs by Israel and the United States and by NATO, which is occurring across the Arab world. They should be standing against those massacres, and they should be standing for the rights of Palestinians and Arabs and Muslims, and not be sheepish about it, not be timid about it. They should be very loudly, proudly yelling for the rights of Palestinians and Arabs and Muslims. Because if they don't, as you see in these films that are on your screen right now, fascism is staring us in the face from Kemnits and, in case you hadn't noticed, from Trump's White House also.
Thank you very much for your take on that, Mr. Brian Coleman, joining us live from Detroit, human activist. Now,